Forex is not always fast paced. Sometimes you just need to sit it out. Okay, so just getting into the London session. We've got a minute to go before the London session opens. Just finished the live webinar training with the Price Action Traders Institute members, and if you're not sure about that, or if you'd like to find out more about it, I'll put a link down in the description below this video. Look in the description box and I'll put some links in there for you. So just running through these few trades. I took 3 trades just before I actually started the live webinar, and you can see this Euro Japanese yen. I've got in this at 10. Price is pulling back rather deep at the moment, still in the safe zone, but it's moving closer towards my price stop, you can see, which is 10 pips below the entry point now. It's a 10 pip stop we use on the Euro Japanese yen. Pound Japanese yen, took this as well, and that price is spiking down just as the London opens, and I got in this at 17. You can see I got that a good few candles back before I started the trade planning webinar. And the US dollar Japanese yen, the third trade that I'm holding right now, you can see price is just hovering around pretty much where I got into that. Got my take profit way up at the 50 there at the moment on that. 10 pip stop loss in, and just see how this plays out. So it's just 3 trades I'm holding at the moment, and I'm going to flick through the rest of these charts, see if there's anything else I can take. I'll be back in a little while to give you an update. Back soon. Just quickly back to update. I've just seen an entry point on this US dollar Canadian dollar, taking this at 49, looking for further upside movement. 10 pip stop in place, and I've got my take profit up there at the 80. Okay, so there's nothing else I've taken right now, and I'll be back in a little while to give you an update on what's going on. So just to give you a recap on those trades that I was holding, the Euro Japanese yen pulled back and gave me a full stop, losing me 10 pips. The pound Japanese yen, seeing that pull deep back down in that overnight price action, giving me a full stop on that as well. So that's 12 pips down on that. So I'm down 22 pips at the moment. Other trades, I'm still holding the US dollar Japanese yen, seeing price just hovering around that entry point. US dollar Canadian dollar, took this, and price is now pushing out of that area where I got in, just below the 50 level there, and I'm looking for the 80 where I've got my take profit. And I've just taken New Zealand dollar US dollar as price has come through an entry point on that on the last candle. So looking for further upside movement on this, and my take profit is up at 50 with a 10 pip stop loss. Okay, pause for now, be back soon. Okay, back to show this New Zealand dollar US dollar trade that I took. I punched out of that, losing 3 pips. So I'm currently down 25 pips. There was 12 pips I lost on the pound Japanese yen trade, and the Euro Japanese yen lost 10 pips on that. Still holding a few pairs. I'm in the US dollar Canadian dollar still, seeing that moving up quite nicely, nice and steady. US dollar Japanese yen, seeing a bit of a pullback on this right now, possibly down to that Japanese yen strength that seems to be coming in. And that's it, just those 2 trades I'm holding right now. Looking at a few other entries, we got the pound red news coming up in just under half an hour, and I'll see if there's any trades to be taken on that. A little bit quiet at the moment, markets overall going sideways, not doing a great deal. So that's it, I'll pause for now, and I'll be back in a little while to give you an update, let you know how these trades are working out. Back again, just showing you this US dollar Canadian dollar continues to climb. It's come through that previous day's high, held above that, bounced on it a few times, but now it's through it and it's holding. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my stop loss up into a price stop here. I'm going to put it just at break even at the moment, just in case that does pull back again. Seeing weakness in this Canadian dollar. US dollar Japanese yen, you can see price has pulled back to the entry point where I got in, back down at that 0.6 level. So that's it, just those 2 trades I'm holding right now. So that's it, I'll pause the video for now, and I'll be back again with an update in a little while, probably on the pound news now at past. So we've got just over 15 minutes before the red news event's released on the pound pairs, and I'll be back to record that live. I'll have the screen capture running for that news event, see if I can take anything on the pound pairs. Okay, I'll pause for now, I'll be back soon. Okay, here we go. Pound news has just been released on this candle, so we're just watching, seeing what the price action's doing. And not a great deal happening at the moment. Price is still just sitting fairly steady. Just looking through these other pairs, I've just taken a full stop on the US dollar Japanese yen, losing me 10 pips. So I'm currently down 35 pips at the moment. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen showing a bit of profit. US dollar, Canadian dollar showing a bit of profit. I've locked in 6 pips on that right now. So just below that previous day's high there. So I'd like to see this push a bit higher and be able to lock in a bit more, maybe 10 pips, giving me a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Nothing to do on the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen right now. Okay, going to give it one shot. Taking the GJ and the pound US dollar. Not seeing massive moves right now, but over 10 pips on both of those candles. See if we can get something out of this. Stops in place. Okay, I'll pause the video for now and I'll be back in a little while to let you know how these go, but it's not doing a great deal at the moment, but just seeing that climb there. Over 10 pips on each of those candles. Let's just see what we've got on this. So 14, almost 15 pips on the pound Japanese yen, that candle at the moment. And the pound US dollar has moved about 11 pips at the moment. So let's see what these do. Okay, I'll pause for now and I'll be back in a little while to give you an update on these two trades. So back to give you an update. These pounds are starting to show a bit of strength now, and pound US dollar, you can see that's moving up through that 50 level, pushing up quite strong. Pound Japanese yen has been held by the Japanese yen strength that we're also seeing across the board, and not sure what's going to win out here, whether it's going to be that Japanese yen strength push it down or the pound strength to push it up. And in fact, I'm considering punching out of that pair just to play it safe at break even. Just leave that for a, we've got almost 3 minutes left on this candle. US dollar, Japanese yen, that was a trade that I got stopped out of. Price is pulling way down because of that Japanese yen strength that's kicking in. The Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, see that's pulling down nicely now. There was Canadian dollar weakness and Japanese yen strength working nicely with that pair. And the US dollar, Canadian dollar, still showing a nice profit on that and moving up slowly, possibly because of that Canadian dollar weakness. But this is the one that I'm just debating about now, as to whether I'll stay with it or not. What I'm going to do, indecisive on this. Japanese yen strength is really kicking in. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play safe on this. I'm closing out of that pound Japanese yen. I'll stick with the pound US dollar. In fact, what I'm going to do with this is move my stop loss up to lock in. We're going to be very aggressive with this. I'm locking in 5 pips on the pound US dollar. You see that pound Japanese yen is still being held by that Japanese yen strength. The pound US dollar is moving up nicely now. US dollar CAD, that's being moved by the Canadian dollar, and that CAD Jap is moving nicely as well. Okay, I'll pause the video for now. What we got left? 54 seconds approximately. What I'm going to do, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm taking that profit on the pound US dollar. Okay, I'll pause the video for a minute and I'll be back to let you know exactly where I stand and run through these other trades that I've got running. Back in a minute. Okay, a quick update. It's 5 minutes to 10, almost 2 hours into the London Open. Just going to quickly run through where I am right now. The pound US dollar, I took 10 pips on that, punching out of that news trade. The pound Japanese yen, I took came out of break even on that as I punched out. And prices continue to move up on those, but with the criteria that we use, I would have had to have come out of those on those news candles anyway. And I'm currently holding the Australian dollar, US dollar, just starting to see that break out of that overnight range. US dollar, Canadian dollar, still continuing this very, very tidy, steady climb. It's nothing spectacular, but it's just creeping up there quite nicely, and I've locked in 10 pips on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, locked in 2 pips on that. Price is pushing down towards that 0.0, and it's getting a little late into the session now, but let's see what these do, seeing if the Canadian dollar weakness continues. Plus we were seeing that Japanese yen strength, which was helping push this one down. So that's it. I'm down 25 pips at the moment and showing some reasonable profit starting to come into play now on these other pairs. I'll pause the video again and I'll be back with you in a little while. Back again really quickly to let you know the Australian dollar Japanese yen order that I had placed has been hit, and price is coming down quite nicely now, seeing weakness on the Australian dollar pairs, seeing that pushing down on the Australian dollar US dollar and the Australian dollar Japanese yen. And so that's 4 trades that I'm holding right now. Okay, I'll pause again, be back soon. Okay, back with an update, seeing this Australian weakness coming into play even more now, pushing down the Australian dollar US dollar. Showing a reasonable bit of profit at the moment. The Australian dollar Japanese yen, again, that's pushing down. Not sure how long this is going to play out for now though. It's getting a bit late. Time is 10:20 London time. So it's quite late in the session really. Start to see things easing off now, and I'm considering getting out. I'll be a little bit in profit I think if I punch out now. The US dollar Canadian dollar, seen this pushing back up after this pullback here. I've got 10 pips locked in on the US dollar Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar Japanese yen, I've got a few pips locked in on that. And I'm seriously considering just punching out of this now. Won't be showing a lot of profit, but like I say, it's getting late and it's getting near that time when the markets so often just start moving sideways, getting ready for the New York session to come into play. Okay, I'll pause for now, have a look through what the figures are and decide what I'm going to do. Back in a little while. So back with a roundup. It was getting late in the session. I'd been sitting it out for quite a long while. Saw that I was back in profit and just punched out. You can see the winning trades that I took here and the losing trades, ending up with plus 10 pips. Not really a great deal you can do during a session like today. It just wasn't really moving that much, but I was glad to get back out of that hole and back into profit. Okay, I'll close this down now. Please remember to hit subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll get the heads up as and when I post these videos. Thanks for watching.